Good evening, my little angels. We meet again to continue the journey of restoring peace to the village in the folktale The Legend of the Coffee Tree, told by the ethnic minority groups of the Tây Nguyên, the Central Highlands. In the first part, we shared the vibrant and joyful atmosphere of the village, where the main character was born and raised. That peaceful life was disrupted by the attack of a giant ferocious bird. The elder led the community to search for a new place to settle, but the journey was fraught with challenges. Someone young, strong, and intelligent was needed to find a way to defeat the vicious bird, and that someone is none other than our main character. Tonight, we'll join him on his difficult yet courageous journey together. The Legend of the Coffee Tree, Part 2. Days turned into weeks, and he pressed onward, his feet driving him toward the horizon where the sun set. He wrestled against exhaustion and pain, his will burning brighter than the hardships that plagued him. At long last, there came a day when he reached the peak of the highest mountain. As he stood atop its summit, the clouds parted, and there before him, bathed in a dazzling light, lay the sacred metal. Its brilliance under the sun seemed otherworldly, and in that moment, all the hardships ate into his body. The aching muscles, the bleeding cuts, the exhaustion seemed to vanish. Taking the sacred metal into his hands, he felt a surge of power course through his veins, as though the strength of the mountain itself has been passed into him. The journey back to his people seemed to pass in the blink of an eye. The weight of his quest now lifted. The villagers rejoiced at the sight of the young man's return. Cheers erupted as he stepped into the familiar clearing, the sacred metal held firmly in his hands. The elder, standing before the gathering crowd, raised his voice so all could hear.
Behold our beloved son, who has returned with the sacred metal. No beast shall harm him now, for the river and mountain spirits have guided and protected him on this perilous journey. Let us gather our strength and light the largest fire this village has ever seen. We will forge the sword that will deliver us from fear and return peace to our land.
The entire village rallied together, their hearts filled with new hope. The fire roared brighter and taller as they worked tirelessly, sparing no effort in the creation of the divine sword. Day and night, the sound of hammers striking metal mingled with their songs of determination. It felt as though the bird's reign of terror has already ended. Anticipation of victory burned brightly in every heart. When the sacred sword was already complete, the villagers gathered at the heart of the village to celebrate. The elder led a solemn prayer to the spirits of the rivers and mountains, asking for their continued protection of the young man. Then, with great reverence, he placed the sword into the young man's hands. The blade shone with an ethereal light, its brilliance illuminating the faces of the villagers. As he held it aloft, a profound sense of purpose surged through the young man. His resolve burned as brightly as the sword's gleaming edge. He would face the monstrous bird, and he would not falter. The villagers, though burned by hardship, pulled together what remained on their food stores to make a large rice bowl for the young man to carry on his journey. With this simple gift and countless blessings, he set forth once again. For many days he traveled, following the trail of fallen trees and the path of ruin left by the monstrous bird. At long last he arrived at its lair, a treacherous mountain shrouded in darkness. The creature had made its home in deep, cavernous hollow. From within the cave, the monster's heavy, thunderous breathing echoed, shaking the ground and sending loose stones stumbling down the mountainside. Fueled by righteous fury, the young man stabbed boldly in the mouth of the cave and let out a battle cry that reverberated through the air. The sound woke the beast. Its foul stench filled the air as it stirred, and the ground trembled with its movements. Emerging from the cavern, its massive form cast a shadow that blotted out the sun. Catching the scent of a human, the monstrous bird roared and charged, its talons gleaming and its enormous beak snapping in rage. To the creature's surprise, it was confronted not by an army, but by a single, defiant man standing undaunted. The beast lunged, its enormous beak thrusting out toward him, but the young man leapt aside with the swiftness of a squirrel. He swung the sacred blade with precision, slicing through one side of the bird's jagged beak. The bird shrieked in fury, blood dripping from the wound. It beat its wings, stirring up a whirlwind of force that sent enormous boulders hurtling toward the young man. Yet he did not flinch. With every swing of his blade, the incoming boulders shattered into harmless fragments. Realizing its attack was being thwarted, the creature dove from above, using its razor-sharp talons like weapons. The young man fought tirelessly, blocking and parrying its strikes. The blast of steel against claw echoing across the mountains. The sky darkened as the battle raged on. The earth beneath them left scarred and ruined. For 7 days and 7 nights, the battle endured. Both combatants were pushed to their limits. The bird, the monstrous, had lost all but one talon. The young man's body bore countless wounds, his strength waning. On the 8th day, as exhaustion threatened to overtake him, a bold idea struck the young man. Gathering what remained of his strength, he waited for an opening. When the bird lunged at him again, its talon poised to strike, the young man held the sacred sword with every ounce of power he possessed. The blade whistled through the air, slicing cleanly through the wind. It struck the monstrous bird square in his chest. At that moment, the bird's sharp talons, along with its massive body, came crashing down upon the young warrior. The blood of the young man mingled with the blood of the monstrous creature, staining the river a deep red. The once calm waters now boiled and roared as red currents surged through the vast land. When the villagers arrived at the scene, they could no longer see the courageous young man or his sword. They found only the defeated carcass of the great bird lying lifeless beside the turbulent crimson flow of the river. Standing before the body of the slain beast, the elder addressed the people.
"Oh, my people, our beloved son is no more. He has given himself to the grasses, the rivers, and the towering mountains of this land to bring us the peace we had so longed for. We are proud to have such a brave soul born of our village. He will live on in our hearts, always beside us, watching over us. And when danger comes again to our village, he will protect us from the shadows of the forest and the murmurs of the wind."
The young man's mother wept bitterly for her son, but her heart swelled with pride. Her child had followed in the footsteps of their ancestors, continuing the tradition of valor and sacrifice for the sake of the village. He would live on not only in her heart, but in the heart of all the people. From that day forward, the village returned to life of peace, a life upon the old yet newly secured land, where the ferocious bird had met its end. On the very spot where the young man and the great bird had fallen, a strange plant began to grow. The plant surged skyward as if nourished by the courage and sacrifice embedded in the soil. Its branches wide, its flowers blooming a dazzling white, and bore heavy clusters of fruit. When the villagers tasted the fruit, they felt as though an extraordinary strength coursed through their veins. That land is now Tây Nguyên, the central highlands of Vietnam, a land of striking beauty and rich culture. The mysterious plant became what we now know as the coffee tree, a symbol of vitality and endurance, thriving in the fertile red soil of the highlands. To this day, in the villages of Tây Nguyên, under the starlit skies and within the sacred Nhà Rông, the elders continue to tell the tale of the brave young man. They speak of his sacrifice, a shining example of heroic souls who gave their lives for their people on these majestic lands beside the mighty Trường Sơn mountain range. His story, now woven into the forest's whispers and the wind's songs, will live forever in the hearts of his people. The tale closed on a heroic note, but why, you may wonder, is the story so triumphant? It is because before coffee was introduced to Vietnam's Tây Nguyên by the French in the late 19th century, the livelihoods of the ethnic minority groups here revolved around hunting and gathering. Their dependence on the nature environment made survival difficult, particularly in times of natural calamities. In the story, these uncertainties brought on by nature are symbolized by the image of white predatory bird wreaking havoc. And then coffee arrived, a crop that required scientists' farming methods and cultivation know-how. It became a hero, rescuing the communities by providing a stable income and transforming their livelihoods. With this newfound stability, growth and prosperity followed, leading to better lives for generations in the Tây Nguyên. Today's story time is over. I wish my little loves a good night's sleep. I kiss you long on your foreheads. See you again next time.